to introduce to you Katerina and Christina. Those ladies are gonna explain us in this session the main important things related to the visa, okay, to the visa application. They are from BSI, which is a company that helps our future students to solve any kind of issues or problems and to follow up their visa application for the future students. So guys, this is a very, very good opportunity for you to, you know, ask them any question you might have related to that, because we know it's an important process. It might be difficult sometimes. You might struggle at some point. And thanks to BSI, we'll be able to understand the whole process, the requirements, and also how to make things easier, okay? BSI do offer a service. They are immigration lawyers. So hopefully they will solve all of your questions, all right? So Katerina and Christina, I'll ask you a few questions, okay? I would ask you to answer them little by little. And then at the end of the session, we're gonna have questions coming from our future students. So you could help them to, you know, to solve all their questions, okay?
Okay.
Great. So the first thing I would like to know is which are the main requirements from the students they have to have to apply and to get the visa?
First of all, I would like to thank you, Sonia. Thank you very much for this opportunity. For us, it's very important, and we would be very, very happy to help all your students if we can. Okay, so yeah, basically the main question here is to have really the enrollment with the center in Spain. Okay, in your case there won't be any problem because in your school is very important, and everybody knows your school in Spain, so there won't be any problem in this case. Okay, and then also very important thing is are the personal documents of the students. Okay, so the documents that are required should be very well prepared. Okay, should be translated into Spanish and should be all correctly managed. Okay, basically the most important are the documentation that showed enough funds, enough money to be able to stay in Spain without working, because this is very important, because students are coming to Spain to study, not to work initially. So they can have opportunity to do some work, but the first, the mission is to study. Okay, so you have to show that you want to study and you are not pretending to work and stay in Spain. Okay, so you have to show enough funds. Then you have to have enough level of English or Spanish, okay, in order you can show that you really will be able to understand the studies here in Spain. Okay, and then have basically enough studies in your country that allow you to participate in the studies that you are going to have at school in Spain. Okay, then it is very important to have international insurance. Okay, the insurance should come from the company which renders services in Spain. Okay, and this insurance also should include the part of repatriation. It is very important. Okay, so in case there's any problem, so you know, things like this could happen.
Yes,
and this should yeah, the insurance should cover this. Okay, non-criminal records for sure. Yeah, this is very important. I'm sure nobody have them, but this is important to have the certificate of non-criminal records. And basically, in lots of countries, you should go to the consulate and to attend the interview. So this is also a very important part of the process, because you can have all the documents and everything correctly done, but you can lose in the interview, you know. So you have to go well prepared to the interview, and to go through this process smoothly and without problem. Okay, so I don't know if I explained well. So if you have any question, Sonia.
Yeah, perfectly. So to sum up a little bit, the very first step is for the students, the future students, to have their enrollment letter.
Yeah.
Okay, from us. And
this is first.
Of course, this is the very first step. And to do that, to get that, the important thing with us is to pass all the application process. And once you have completed the interview with us at SA with admissions, and you pay the enrollment fee and we receive it in our bank account, we're going to send you the enrollment letter. If you are from non-EU, we will send you a hard copy, like an actual piece of paper to your address, to your home address. So we will send you the official and original enrollment letter, so you can present it to the consulate or embassy. All right. And the second very important thing is for you to have all the documentation that Katerina just said. Okay. Reminder is like the English proof of proficiency in this case, because our school is in English, so you need to prove that you have enough level to understand and communicate. The bank statement showing that you have enough fundings to pay the tuition fee and the living expenses without having to work, even though you want to work. I mean, it's fine, you can work, but the embassy expects from you that you do not have to work and you have enough funds to pay the whole living expenses and tuition fee. Or you can have a sponsor as well, correct?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be you, but it can be someone sponsoring you, but still the same condition, okay? And the international insurance as well. We talked about that last week. So for those who would like some more information about that, I'll be happy to provide them more information, because we do have another services provider that really helps us with that and have like a very interesting product for our students. And yeah, showing enough studies and no criminal records. Excellent. Yeah, everything's pretty clear, I think.
Just I forgot to tell you, it's also important that you have housing in Spain. Yeah, it shouldn't be the definitive housing, but you have to have an address that where you're going to stay initially in Spain. This is important. I mean, it's not sine qua non. I mean, you can apply without it, but it's very helpful and important. If you rent an apartment or whatever place to stay, and you can show that you have this place and you have where to stay, it is important also for the consulate.
Okay, I think, Katerina, some of the participants are having issues with hearing you as well. I can hear you perfectly, but maybe it's they have maybe poor connections. I don't know. Well, Marie, I'm sorry for that, because she's chatting with me. That's the best we can deliver. I'm sorry. And Ilaria, yes, this meeting is being recorded. Okay. All right. So let's keep going with this conversation. So, okay, it's very important to also try to show that you have an address, or at least you have an idea on where you're gonna stay once you're here. Yeah. Great. So another very important thing, you started talking about that, but we would like to understand which is the process to get the visa. So once they have the enrollment letter, what do they have to do?
Basically, depending on the consulate, because not all our consulate work the same way because of amount of work, because some countries has a lot of amount of work for visas and others not. So normally, once you have all the documents, you have to apply for the previous appointment. Okay, so sometimes you have to check first when you decide that you're going to apply for the visa, even before you have the enrollment letter. It can be important to check for the previous appointment to see what are the dates, because some consulate can give you the date in 2 weeks and next 2 weeks, and other can that can delay for 1 month or more. So it is very important, if once you decide that you are going to study in Spain, to check all of this, okay? And also to see, the requirements that I have explained you are general requirements. But some consulate can ask for more documents, for less documents. So it depends basically on the country where the consulate is. Okay, so it is very important to see what are the real requirements from the consulate where you're going to apply. So this is very important. So the next step, once you have the appointment, is to gather all the documents. Okay, and go to the appointment, to the interview with the consular officer. Okay, this interview shouldn't take more than half an hour, but can take longer. But normally it's like this. And then the visa is entering in the process. Okay, the consulate sends all the documents to Spanish authority in Spain. Okay, they approve or disapprove the visa application, and then you receive the response. Normally, the process takes around a month and a half, less or probably more, depending also depending on depends on the country, depends on the moment when you apply, because now in August everything takes longer. Also in for example, in Christmas or Easter. So basically about a month and a half, 2 months, you have the responses maximum. Okay, and if the visa is approved, you receive it in your passport and can travel to Spain. Sorry. And here in Spain, you have to apply for a student card. It's like a residency card in Spain that allow you to stay and to move within Spain, okay, and it will allow you to open bank account, etc., etc. So it will be very helpful to get this document. But this document is processed in the police, and you have time to do it once you arrive. Okay, normally the visa can be of 6 months or 3 months. It will depend on the time that you're going to study here. Okay, but if your study are longer than 6 months, you will have the residency card as well. Okay, and basically that's all. That's all.
Okay.
The process.
Okay. I think it's pretty clear. So let's move forward. So you said that every consulate has different requirements. How can I check my own consulate and what they will ask me?
Yeah, this is, normally the consulate have lists of the documents that are required for each kind of visa. Okay. However, it is very important to try to get in touch and speak with them, because they may require some special things that maybe are not very well reflected in this list, and then when you go there you may have problems, and they can tell you, no, I don't want this document, I want it to be I don't know, like this. So you have to go home and get the document again, get another appointment. So this is very, very important to have all the information as soon as before you go to the consulate. And sometimes it's pretty difficult, because this is true, our consulate many times don't attend phone calls, so it's pretty complicated sometimes. So yeah, professional services can be very, very of use here. Commercial.
Of course, of course. So as you said, professional services are very useful here. So could you please explain us what are you offering our future students, and in which way it would be an advantage for them?
Okay, our company has more than 20 years of experience managing immigration processes in Spain, not only student, but including student visas and stay permits. And we really have a very good relationship with the administration and with our ministries of exterior and interior. In this case, Ministry of Exterior is very important, because they manage the consulate. Okay, so through our good contacts that we have in our Ministry of Foreign Affairs or Exterior, okay, we have contacts basically with all the consulates. So what we can offer, it's not only to explain you how to prepare the documents, to check all the documents, and to prepare application forms and apply for the appointments, etc., etc. What we really can do, and it's really important, is to get in touch with the consulate through our contacts and channels, okay, and explain them who are you, what school you're going to study, the important things, that will be very helpful for you, because you will not be the person who nobody knows at the consulate. So when you go to the appointment, the consulate will be aware about this. Okay, so they will treat you the different way, if I can tell it like this. Okay, so they will know that you will come from our side, and that all the documents will be correct. So this is very important, because for them, for the consulates, I mean, it's also very sometimes very complicated to treat with people who are not very familiarized with these processes, because they have to explain several times how the document should be, etc., etc. So helping you, we're also helping them. So that's like good thing for everybody. And also we have good contacts in Spain with well, government basically gives the final decision. Okay, so once you apply for the visa and documents are sent here, our administration checks all the documents and give the okay. Okay, so we also can help in this. And in case the visa is rejected for some reason, okay, we can also help you to appeal. Okay, and we can check why really they have rejected your visa, because normally the rejections the resolutions of rejections don't have much explanation. Okay, so we can check what really happened, and can see if there is a solution. Okay, so we can offer you our good experience and good contacts in this way.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like it can be very, very helpful to think about hiring you in your services, so they can get their visa without being a headache, right? And how much does that cost?
Yeah, we have a special price for your students. It's like 600 euros. Okay, VAT included, everything included, excluding consular fee, for example, of course, because I mean each concert has different fee depending on the country, because it's like agreement between two countries. Okay, so the fee. We cannot include it because we cannot be sure about the fee. Okay, but 600 euros, and they are payable in two installments. Okay, at the first when you accept and we start preparing, you have to pay 50%, and then the 50% can be paid once the visa is issued. Okay, so you don't have to pay 60 euros at the same time. Sorry, 600 euros at the same time. So in two parts.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So 600 total, 300 at the beginning, and 300 once
Yeah,
you get your
exactly.
visa, right? Perfect,
Exactly.
great. So nowadays we are living like a special situation with this COVID-19 pandemic. So we would like to know how COVID-19 is affecting this visa obtaining process.
Yeah, very strange time we are living
Yes,
in.
right.
In all aspects. Yeah, it is true that COVID-19 situation is affecting everything, and it's affecting also immigration visa processes. Yeah, sure. Depending on the country, the situation is more or less complicated. Okay, so some of our consulates are closed, others are working normally. So basically this should be checked case by case. But in general words, the situation is not normal. So if to compare, for example, if in 2019 the process could take about 2 weeks, so now you should count like 3 or 4 weeks, just as an example. So you can be, I mean, you can think that your process will be carried the same way that it was last year before COVID-19. So yeah, we expect that we will be returning step by step to normality. But nowadays, it's true that the situation is complicated and it's not working correctly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so those were all my questions. I don't know, Katerina or Christina, would you like to add something that you consider that is important for the future students to know about all this visa process?
I think that you have to know that we can be. I mean, not only offering our services but we also will be able to advise you on anything you need. And you can also ask any question now or send any question to Sonia, and we will try to clarify your doubt. I don't know if from my side, I think that that's all basically. So if you have any question, I will be, and Christina will be happy to answer. Okay, but anyway, if you now don't remember or you have any question later on, you can also get in touch with Sonia, and we will be happy to help you. Okay.
Yeah, and so another thing that I would like to add is that if you would like to, to maybe hire BSI for your visa application, you can contact me, Sonia. You know me, and I will let Katerina and Christina know, so they will contact you. Okay, so you can ask me to ask for BSI services, okay? So I see that there is someone writing a few questions on the chat. Hi, do you have any experience with Pakistani applicants?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Pakistan is complicated. I mean, not the country, but the consulate is pretty complicated to treat. But yes, we did. Yes, we did have contact with them, and we know how they work. Okay, so we can help in Pakistan, sure.
Okay. Would you like to explain like any specific situation, or maybe Mohammed, would you like to know a little bit more about this? He also asked, could you please explain the initial deposit again? Mohammed, do you mean the initial deposit from SA, from the school, or from the services, from the visa application services? Meanwhile, Mohammed is answering our questions. If other participants would like to add any other questions, you can type it down, or you can unmic your phone, your microphones, unmute, sorry, your microphones, and ask your questions. Okay. So another question is, we need to know about expenses for admissions and services for visa process. Okay, so the admission process is, I'm in charge of that. It depends on the program you want to do. It will cost one thing or the other. So in general, if you're applying for a master, the enrollment fee is 660 euros. And if you're applying for a bachelor, it's 800 euros. Okay, but we can go in depth in another conversation. You can always reach me for the admission process. But here we want to focus on the BSI Spanish immigration lawyers, and they are offering their services for 600 euros in 2 installments. The first one being 300 at the beginning of the service, and 300 once you get your visa. Correct? Yeah. Excellent. Also, please advise if applicant has previous education taught in English, can you accept student without IELTS certificate? So he's asking if a student has studied in English, if it's okay for the embassy instead of having like an IELTS certificate.
Sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, basically the consulate, as I explained you, the consular officer will lead an interview with you. So he or she will check whether or not you can express yourself in English and you understand English, because your study will be in English. Okay, so they will check if you really have enough level of English. Yeah, sometimes I know that sometimes people speak English without having any certificate, so they also check this. Okay, so not only certificate, but also the knowledge.
True, that's perfect. So hopefully that answers your question. Sorry, every time I switch to the chat, my video gets freezed, but it's the best I can do. What about the amount of money to show for the embassy? Is there a certain amount?
Yeah, there is. Basically, the amount is of around 70,000 euros per year. Okay,
how much?
so
Sorry?
17K. Okay.
21K. 21.
No, 17.
17. I'm sorry. Okay. 17.
This is what we in Spain supposed to have.
Correct. 17,000.
Yeah, okay. So this should be shown, but normally the consulate want to see that this money is not just deposited and at the amount. the account, sorry. But whether I mean, they want to see that this money you are receiving it regularly, you or your sponsor, your parent or whatever sponsor that you have. Okay, not just that you have this amount in your account, but where it comes from, and you know, because they are looking to avoid frauds. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, they're gonna dig in a little bit on your bank statement or the sponsors one, so to make sure that you're able to pay all your duties here in Barcelona. Yeah.
Exactly.
Excellent.
So if you have rented, for example, if you rent a housing before you come to Spain and you pay, for example, if you stay for 6 months, you paid or you have the lease contract here for 6 months. So it is helpful as well because they see that you already have the housing, that you have money to pay it, and etc. etc.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. So yeah, Ashraf, 17,000 euros, that's correct.
Yeah, minimum.
And minimum, okay. And Farhan is asking, to what extent is it useful to appoint your lawyer for the student in order to apply study visa? So he's asking about the advantages of hiring a lawyer service for the visa application, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, this is what we were trying to explain. Now that you know, we offer experience and we offer our contacts at the consulate, and also we offer our knowledge because we know exactly how you have to prepare the documents, how they can be translated, etc., etc. So yeah, we offer you it will be very much easier for you to apply for the visa, and you will have much option for success. Okay.
Yes.
We will speak with the consulate before you apply, and we will prepare you for the interview as well.
So basically, it's a matter of make things easier and take advantage of the connections the BSI do have, and of their experience, you know. So that would avoid you know, having to deal by yourself with everything. Okay, even they are offering the option of, in case your visa is denied, then they will you know, try to reapply, or you know, in order for you to get finally your visa, right? If the reason for which it's been denied is something that you can somehow recover, right? Yeah, great. So we do have another questions here. Yana is asking, so if there is a sponsor, you should also provide his work letter, or bank statement is enough?
No, normally the bank statement is enough, but you know, it depends a little bit on the consulate, okay, and the situation in the country, etc., etc. So, as I have mentioned before, it is very important to check case by case, because it's not the same applying in one country or another country. Okay. Although the general requirements are the same for everybody, but lots of the consulate have their own requirements that are according to the situation in the country. Okay, so normally with bank statements are okay.
All right, great. So there's another question over here saying, as your immigration lawyers, so there is any immigration or work-based immigration options available for engineers or other skilled persons who are in Pakistan right now?
Sorry, we're talking about work permits. Not sure to get the question.
double check here. So I guess he's asking for, is there work permit? Yeah, for engineers or skilled persons in Pakistan.
Yeah, I mean, in Spain there are always options for work permits, but it depends. I mean, you need to have work offer, and you have to be compliant with lots of requirements. Okay, and yeah, basically there are options to work for engineers in Spain always. But it doesn't matter if they come from Pakistan or from the United States. I mean, it depends on the how skilled they are, and depends on whether or not there are work offers here. Companies who want to hire. Okay.
So basically, here in Spain, the work visa, the work permit would come along with a work offer. Okay. Yeah. But here we are focusing on the student visa. Okay. And for that, SAE will provide everything you need for you to be able to apply, plus the documentation Katerina is sharing here with us.
Yeah, and that's very important that those students that are studying in Spain have more opportunities to work later, okay, and to get work visa, because the fact that you study in Spain offers you more opportunities, okay, more kinds of work visa. So yeah, if you have a student stay permit, it will be easier for you to get work permit.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jana is asking about the housing, and she's asking like what exactly you should provide for the embassy related to the housing, to the accommodation.
Yeah, and it depends on what you have. I mean, if you rent a housing or you rent a place to stay, you can provide anything you have. I mean, if you rent it through Airbnb, you can provide the document from Airbnb, or if you have booked a hotel, you can provide this. I mean, it's the document that shows that you have place to stay in Spain. Okay, whatever document it is. If you are going to stay with a friend, yeah, it can be a letter from the friend, from your friend. Better if it is done before notary. Yeah, stating that your friend is going to bring you housing in Spain, for example. So there is a wide options.
And she's also asking, but like, do I need to prove my housing for the whole time, for the whole studies? Or it can be for a shorter period, and then I will try to find something else.
Yeah, it can be for a short period, and you can then find another one.
Okay. I mean, what would be a shorter period? Like 1 month would be fine?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, 1 month. I mean, you are not providing, when you provide the document that you're going to stay, you just provide the reservation. So it doesn't mean that you are, I mean, you can extend this, or you cannot. I mean, you have to show them that you have place to stay for the initial stay, and then you can find another option. Okay, there's no limits, like for 1 month, for 2 weeks, or what? Yeah, it's whatever you have in this regard.
Okay.
It is better if you have rented an apartment for 6 months. Great, so better.
Yeah,
but if
that
not,
would be easier then, probably.
It's valid.
Okay. Yeah.